Well, he describes Jesus' sojourn on this earth. He uses a word that means to live in a tent. That's what the word means. Or as theologians say, to tabernacle. Jesus tabernacled with us. Eugene Peterson paraphrases the verse this way. I love this. He said, and Jesus became flesh and blood and moved into our neighborhood. He came down here to be among us, to be with us, so that we could know who God was. It was early July 2020. Mary Daniel had not seen her husband for 114 days due to coronavirus restrictions at the senior care facility where he lives. Her husband, Steve, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 7 years ago and moved into a care facility in Jacksonville, Florida. She said she had been visiting with her husband every night and would get him ready for bed. But with the coronavirus pandemic hit, health facilities restricted visitors to prevent the spread of COVID-19 to vulnerable patients. And the facility closed to visitors on March 11th, the last time she saw Steve as a visitor. Mary worried about her husband. So much time alone was not good for an Alzheimer's patient. And she was desperate to find some way to stay connected. And then out of the blue, the care facility's corporate office called Mary and said, we've got a part-time job available if you would like to take it. She didn't even ask what it was. She was willing to do any job that they offered for the chance to get inside, and what they ended up giving her was a dishwashing position. She washed dishes. This job is allowing Mary to see her husband regularly, and she's so thankful. It's worth it to be able to visit him, and I can already tell the difference in his demeanor after 3 visits. I'm so grateful. I just wanted to be with him every day. What Mary Daniel did for her husband because of her love for him, in a much more profound way, Jesus Christ has done for you and me. He loved us so much, he moved into our sick and dying world, not just to be close to us, but to rescue us and take us to his home in heaven. Several Thanksgivings ago, I remember this vividly. One of my favorite presidents, George W. Bush, made a surprise visit to Iraq. While he was there, the president served up turkey dinner to 600 stunned soldiers in a mess hall in Baghdad's airport. Now, you see, the soldiers had gathered for what they thought would be a speech by the chief U.S. administrator, Paul Bremer. Bremer told the troops he would read a Thanksgiving proclamation from the president. And then he paused and noted that it was customary for the most senior official present to read the president's proclamation. And he turned back toward the stage curtain and he said, is there anybody back there who's more senior than I am? And the president himself emerged from behind the curtain as cheering soldiers climbed up on chairs and tables to yell their approval. It's got to be lonely for them, the president said. I thought it was important to send that message that we care for them. The unannounced visit not only brought wild cheers from battle-worn soldiers, but it stunned the nation and even surprised the president's parents, who thought he was coming for Thanksgiving dinner in Crawford, Texas, and saw him on TV in Iraq. I love that story, just for the value of the story. But isn't that a wonderful picture of what happened some 2,000 years ago? The Bible says God had formerly delivered his message time and time again in various ways. That's what Hebrews says. In various ways, God tried to deliver the message of his love for us, and we didn't get it. So in due time, God made a surprise visit to the world, and we call that moment Christmas, when the Word became flesh and lived among us.